everybody. Hello, hello, hello. You are very welcome back to DD's ASMR. Today's video, guys, very simple. Just having a cup of coffee. Just back from the shop. Picked up dinner for tonight and a couple of other bits and a coffee. And on the way home, I was kind of struck with a bit of inspiration. Some of my favourite ASMR videos, maybe some of you will share this, are like kind of like have coffee with me videos, or just like chill, chit chatting kind of videos. Midwest ASMR. If any of you know her, if you don't, definitely check her out. She does really, really good. Like have coffee with me's, or just kind of general chit chats. And I know B's ASMR is like pretty well known for hers as well. But yeah, thought I would make my contribution to that video style and picked up a cappuccino. And yeah, that's kind of it really. I'm going to go ahead and have a little sip first of all. Good, still hot. Behind me here, that's Peggy. That's one of two cats. But she is dead asleep right now. And I think I'm going to leave her be. But if she gets up, starts moving around, I might give you a better introduction to her. Also, sorry if I'm squinting, but the sun is like hitting me square in the eyeballs right now. Oh, bit of movement from Peggy. She's just having a clean. I'll leave her in the background there. But yeah, what's going on? I'm starting a new job next week, and I'm back from holidays 2 weeks ago. Those are kind of like the two big discussion points, really. Like if you were to ask me what's going on, new job next week. That's pretty exciting. It's pretty anxiety-inducing too, though. I think, regardless of any type of job, you're going to have some bit of nerves when you're starting it. But yeah, I had been, I suppose, let go of my like professional job like a year ago, and had been like searching to get like back into my professional job for like a year. Now I picked up some other work in between that, just to keep some money coming in. But I suppose it kind of wasn't in the industry that I have my experience in, and that I kind of would have studied to be in when I was in college and stuff. But I'm finally back in that industry now. Oh well, I will be come Monday. So yeah, looking forward to that. But as I said, definitely a little nervous too, just because it's like been so long since I've kind of like been in that environment. I feel like when you're in a job, a year can go by very quickly. But I definitely found when I was out of work that it took an awful lot. It felt an awful lot longer. But I'm glad to be starting. The only thing is that it's like kind of far enough away from my house or where I'm living that like I can get a bus, but like I'd kind of be getting like 2 bus routes. I can cycle, but it's going to be like a 40-minute cycle through like some kind of dodgy enough, like kind of somewhat country roads, but like not really country roads, but they wouldn't be like main roads. Those are kind of my options because I'm currently learning to drive. So kind of like getting to and from work is a bit of a headache, but I will happily take that headache for the benefits of having that job will bring. But yeah, so looking forward to that. As I was saying there, came back from holiday recently enough. I went to Alghero in Sardinia, in Italy. Not sure if any of my viewers here have been to Alghero, but man, that's the spot to be. That is seriously probably one of the best places I've ever been on holiday. I think the whole like shtick with Sardinia, which is like, if you're not familiar, you know, Italy is the kind of the boot looking little country there, and the little island just by that boot. I think it's by the boot. I know Sicily is like further down south, I believe. But anyway, one of the little islands of mainland Italy, please excuse Peggy, is Sardinia. So the whole shtick there was that it was like taken over by Spanish in 1800s, 1700s. Don't quote me on that. So it's like really like mixed with, I suppose, Italian and Spanish culture. So it kind of has its own kind of unique culture in that sense. But like, I found that like the food, well, of course the food was going to be amazing, but like it seriously was top tier. Like it just all, it tasted so fresh. Like you knew it was like being made right out back in the kitchen. Like obviously you know that when you go to any restaurant, but this just like tasted particularly fresh anyway, in my opinion. And then the pricing was just crazy. Like we were getting full meals for two, so say two pasta dishes, two drinks, like a bottle of water, and that would come out to like 25-30 euro. Like the pricing was just so cheap, especially compared to Ireland. Once again, not sure if any of you watching are living in Ireland or have been in Ireland recently, but shit's pretty expensive right now. So was definitely happy to go somewhere where my money was kind of getting a bit more mileage. Yeah, food was crazy. The people were really nice, like real friendly. Like I really like struggled to actually like find anything bad about it. Do you know what I mean? Like the location was beautiful. Where we stayed was beautiful. We were right by the coast, down kind of like the southern end of Alghero itself. So like our hotel was on the beach, essentially. Well, you had to cross the road and then you were on the beach. But yeah, I had a thoroughly enjoyable time there. That was kind of like a nice reset because I just finished up in my other job that I kind of picked up in between looking for my kind of more industry specific job. I finished up from that job, had I think a week off, went on holidays to Alghero, have come back, have been home for over a week now, and now next week I'll be starting my new job. So to be fair, the last few weeks have been an enjoyable, I suppose, like transition time, in the sense that like I'm finishing up obviously in work, but I think like mentally as well, it's like a huge transition now, getting out of like the mindset of like kind of maybe not being where I wanted to be originally, like in my head for the last year, and now like kind of getting back into like kind of professional working environment. You know yourself, that all sounds boring as hell, like, and it is, but still has to be done. So yeah, other things that I've been doing, I have been thoroughly enjoying the Oblivion remaster. I just platinumed it yesterday or 2 days ago. Oblivion is probably it's tied with one other game as kind of being like my true like childhood defining games. Like when I look back at my childhood, these are the two of them, and it's The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and Fallout New Vegas. And like they both like truly hold a very special place in my heart. So when I had been like hearing all the like noise and rumors and like seeing all the like schizophrenic posts on the like subreddit of people being like, oh, there's a remake, and like at the start, like I just like brushed it off as like, no, there's no remake. But like a year ago or so, some like Microsoft presentation got like leaked, but it showed that like they did have plans for an Oblivion remaster. But as a result of COVID, it got shelved or it got pushed back. It was supposed to be released in 2022 or something like that. And these files came out in like 2024, or maybe the end of 2023 at the latest. So that kind of kicked off a huge, I suppose, chase regarding more information, because like people had now seen that it was there in front of them, like Oblivion remaster existed to some extent. So people really went crazy looking for evidence. But yeah, I was just happy to see that it was actually real when it was announced, and I had to hop on that immediately. Oh, it was honestly such a fun experience, and like so, it was so like perfectly done in the sense that like the game itself like looks one of the best looking games I've seen in a while, especially like probably Unreal Engine 5 games. It's probably the best looking Unreal Engine 5 game I've seen. Um, but like everything, it really did feel like you're still playing the 2006 original. Like I started playing that like on my PS3, and then I got it for my PC, and then kind of obviously kind of stayed mainly on the PC playing it, but hadn't played it for well over 5 years, maybe 5-6 years, and it had always been, for the last 2-3 years, been like, oh, I need to like do an Oblivion playthrough soon, like, but I just never got around to it. So I was delighted when I saw that that was the perfect excuse for me to go back and do my Oblivion playthrough, and yeah, went straight through. Had to get the platinum as well. I don't think I've talked about this, but maybe in the last, this probably coincides with me not having a job, funnily enough. But in the last year or so, I had been getting more and more involved, well, not involved, but interested in like platinuming my games that I have for my PlayStation. So if you're not familiar, games on PlayStation and Xbox, but PlayStation specifically, games will have trophies associated with them. And once you get all those trophies, you get the final trophy, which is the Platinum Trophy. Last year, I've really kind of like ramped up my platinuming agenda, I suppose. But like what I've been doing is, I suppose, going back and like picking like some of my favorite games, or like games that like I really, admire, or like just great games, and kind of taking those and platinuming them as a way to like not honor the games, but like it's like, okay, I love this game, this is one of my favorite games. By like getting the platinum, it's kind of like me signifying to myself like, oh, I love this game and I've done everything I can. You know what I mean? That probably makes no sense to the majority of people, but if you get what I mean, then you do. But yeah, so got the platinum for Oblivion. Very straightforward and fun platinum. It was just a matter of like doing the main quest and then all the guilds. So there's the Mages Guild, the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, the Fighters Guild, the Arena. Those are the 5 guilds. There's the main quest. And there was the DLC as well for, well, there was the DLC trophies for the Shivering Isles. The game came with the Shivering Isles DLC and the Knights of the Nine DLC, as well as all the other DLC. But Knights of the Nine never had trophy support. In fact, Oblivion never had trophy support at all on PlayStation, even when it released on PS3. It released at a time before PlayStation trophies even existed. However, Xbox achievements were a thing, and so were the Steam ones, I believe. But so yeah, there was no PlayStation achievements, because that's something I'd also been doing in recent months. Was actually going through some of my PS3 games and platinuming them, because like I have the PlayStation like premium subscription, or PlayStation Plus premium subscription, where I can stream the PS3 games, and my internet is good enough, or do you know what I mean? Like I can stream them fine with only kind of like minor hitches in the quality, but a lot of that I think is like to do with just the fact that it's streaming a PS3 game as well. Like the cloud streaming isn't like the best in my opinion on PlayStation, and when it comes to the PS3 in particular, like developers will always say, oh well, you can't emulate the PS3, it was so difficult, like, which is true to an extent, like, but I think we're at a point now where like surely these PS3 games should be downloadable, you know what I mean? Like I shouldn't have to be streaming them. That's just me being nitpicky. I'm forgetting about my coffee here as well. So yeah, sorry, just went on a complete tangent there. But I've been enjoying the Oblivion remaster. semester, or have enjoyed it. Moved on from that to the Blair Witch Project, the game. I recently, maybe in the last week and a half or so, watched everything Blair Witch. So I started with the Blair Witch Project, and then watched the supporting documentaries for the Blair Witch Project. So if you're not familiar with the Blair Witch, I wasn't too familiar with him or with her or with it. Let's say I wasn't too familiar with the Blair Witch franchise, other than the fact that I knew the first one was heralded as a pioneer in found footage. Well, maybe not being a pioneer, because found footage style films did exist before then, but that's what popularized it, to the mainstream. Would have known about that, and would have known about its iconic ending, I suppose, if I wanted to say that. But really didn't know much more than that. And I kind of just got a sudden interest in it somewhat recently, for some reason unknown to me. And watched the first movie. Loved the first movie. Oh my god, if you haven't seen that and you are a fan of horror or found footage, or you're just looking for a good movie, check out the Blair Witch Project. Now, I'm going to preface that by saying I think it's definitely a movie where you have to be watching it in the dark at night, and I think you'll either love it and walk away being yep, I get it, I see why that is so well respected, or you'll probably walk away being that was absolute trash. So hopefully it's the first one, but watch the first one, love that. They made supporting documentaries for the first one that they released in places like Best Buy. If you bought the special edition of the Blair Witch, you got this documentary as well. And honestly, I think there's 4 mockumentaries is what I should say, because they're obviously all fake. But they act as in-universe real-life documentaries surrounding the Blair Witch Project and the Blair Witch in general. I think it's actually it should be a necessity to watch those first, because they add so much to the story. But when it comes to the second movie, then, if you actually don't watch the supporting mockumentary, I think if you go straight from the first movie to the second one, you're going to be so lost. Because, not to give too much away, the second one is it's a movie within a movie, if you know what I'm saying, in that in the movie people have been inspired by another real life killing in the movie by someone who watched the Blair Witch Project in the movie and then went out and killed people, and then people in the movie decided that was good enough idea to make a movie, and that's what the movie's about. So if you can stay with me for that, then you might be alright. And then the third one, Blair Witch 2016, which is actually a direct sequel to the first one. Man, for me that was so disappointing. It felt real soulless. I don't know, maybe it's just because it was made at a time. Maybe it's just, I don't know what it was. I just did not enjoy that movie that much. Some bits of it were interesting, but I feel I think the kind of real beauty of the first one was that an awful lot of it is left to yourself to figure out, and essentially to scare yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because once again, no spoilers. But in the first one, it's not there's often a big scary figure jumping out into the frame, being I'm the Blair Witch. That doesn't happen. So not knowing really what's going on only adds to the confusion and adds to the fear and adds to the immersion, I think, when you're watching the movie. It just doesn't translate in the 2016 movie at all, though. And honestly, it's a stupid sequel. Sorry if you're a fan, but I don't see a reason why that needs to be made. But from that, then I did play the game, the Blair Witch Project game, which takes place a year after the Blair Witch Project, maybe a year before. No, was actually really good. That was made by Bloober, who, funnily enough, recently, well, maybe, God, how long ago was that released? Like 6 months ago, maybe. They remade Silent Hill 2, which I'm actually wearing today. But it was made by them, so I was eager to actually play it after playing and loving the Silent Hill 2 remake. And yeah, it was pretty good. Maybe kind of dragged on a little bit here and there, especially towards the end, which I kind of have read Bloober were a bit notorious for doing in some of the games that they were responsible for, but it wasn't evident in Silent Hill 2, not to me anyway. But yeah, so I've played that, and what's left? There's like a book called A Dossier. That's like kind of like in-universe notes, and there was like 3 like PC games released in 1999 as well. But I don't think I'll be playing those. And yeah, that's all that's really left then in the Blair Witch franchise for me. But yeah. I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Honestly, that's gonna be. Oh, I'm playing Days Gone Remastered. Actually, that was what I was going to get onto after finishing up Blair Witch 2016. I was going to platinum that because I only need I think I need 1 more playthrough. No, 2 more playthroughs, but the playthroughs are, I think after doing my first playthrough, which was like 5.5 hours, I could definitely see how you could really just tear through that game in maybe like 3 hours. So someday soon I'll go back and do those. But for now I'm playing Days Gone Remastered, which I'm really enjoying. I played the first one when it released on PS4, and loved it. I really did enjoy it. I felt kind of sorry for the game because it like never ever, and this is what people always say about this game, but like it never really did get a chance or like to be recognized, because I don't know, I can't remember when it released on the PS4, what else released alongside it, but I think it was the case where there was just a couple other huge games released at the same time frame, so no one's really picking it up. And then I heard about the remaster and I was like, oh shit, that's exciting, like I'll definitely go back and play it again. And everyone was kind of like, oh, maybe there'll be like a bit more hype, like, you know, maybe this will be like finally this game's turn to like get recognition. And then the week it releases, Oblivion Remaster Shadow drops, and then that other game, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 or whatever it is, that also releases. So like it just got shafted once again, unfortunately. I think now I haven't really read anything online about how it's being perceived or received, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm like maybe halfway through it, I'd say, at this point. But yeah, I'll have one more sip of my coffee. I think that's kind of it, guys. What I might do is just give you a little close-up of Peggy here. Now, you got Peggy. There she is. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but she is snoring away right now. But yeah. So, I think that about does it, guys. I will leave you there. Thank you for joining me for a coffee. I enjoyed it. And, please let me know what you're thinking about what I was saying. If you agree with anything, if you think I'm talking absolute rubbish, you can let me know that too. And from myself and Peggy here, we hope you have a great day, a great evening, a great night, and we shall see you very soon. Bye, guys.